Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Nishtakaleshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Om Adhyanatirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yata Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagra Jatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sarvadhitam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastite Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhaktam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vistayavitari Prabhupada Priya Shri Girirajaya Swami Sivaktaradaras Vihari Bhakti Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vistayavitari Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharini Nirvishesha Srimati Paschatari Shukara Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangham Rangayate Girinyakripatamaham Vande Shri Guru Dinataranam. So we are continuing our reading Shrimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5. We are on chapter 24, the subterranean heavenly planets. We are on text 7. Upavaranitam bhume yatha saniveshavasthanam avanerapi adhastat saptabhu vivara ekaikasho yojana yutantarenayama vistareno paklipta Atalam vitalam sitalam talatalam mahatalam rasatalam pattalam iti. My dear king, beneath this earth are 7 other planets known as Atala, Vitala, Sitala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatal and Patal. I have already explained the situation of the planetary systems of the earth. The width and length of the 7 lower planetary systems are calculated to be exactly the same as those of Earth. So Bhuloka, so below Bhuloka is the underworld. So on planet Earth, we say the underworld. So now here the actual underworld. And we heard from Prabhupada that actually these living beings from the subterranean heavenly planets, meaning Billa Swarga, as we are going to hear. So living beings from these lower planets, like I heard Prabhupada say that Hitler came from Patal Lok, and other beings also, they take birth on earth from these lower planetary systems. The text 8. Eteshu hi billa swargeshu swargat apyadhika kama bhogaishwaryananda bhuti vibhuti bhihi susamriddha bhavanodyanar krida vihareshu daitya danava kadraveya nitya pramuditanurakta कलात्रपत्य बंधु सुहृत अनुचरा गृहपतय ईश्वराद अप्रतिहता काम माया विनोद निवासन्ति. Eteshu, in this he certainly bila swargeshu, known are the heavenly subterranean worlds, meaning it's a whole. And so that's why when we go some places I saw, some places in India, so say there is a tunnel, a tunnel that goes down to this Billa Swarga. So just like we look up in the sky and we look at the stars, the moon, so here this Billa Swarga, they are, Billa means, I think it means a hole, so subterranean, so there is tunnel through which we can go to these lokas. Api, even adhika, a greater quantity, kama bhoga, enjoyment of sense gratification, aishwarya, ananda, bliss due to opulence, bhuti, influence, vibhuti bhihi, by those things and by these things and wealth, susamriddha, improved, bhavana, houses, udyana, gardens, akrida, vihareshu, in places for different types of sense gratifications, daitya, the demons, danava, ghosts, daitya, the demons, danava, ghosts, kadraveya, snakes, nitya, who are always pramudita, overjoyed, anurakta, because of attachment, kalatra, to wife, apatya, children, bandhu, family relations, surit, friends, anucharaha, followers, griha patayaha, the heads of the household, ishwarat, then those more capable like the demigods, api, even apratihata kama, whose fulfillment of lusty desires is unimpeded, maya, illusion, vinodaha, who feel happiness, nivashanti, live. So this is a description of Billa Swarga, so the subterranean heavenly planets. So India is a very mysterious place, and we have described how we saw rivers that connect one part of Bhulok to the next. Now these are earth, this is down inside, and they consist of, so in these planetary system, which are also known as the subterranean heavens, Billa Swarga, they're very beautiful houses, gardens, and places of sense enjoyment, which are even more opulent than those in the higher planets, because the demons have a very high standard of sensual pleasure, wealth, and influence. Most of the residents of these planets, who are known as Daitya, Danava, and Nagas, live as householders. Their wives, children, friends, and society are all fully engaged in illusory material happiness. The sense enjoyment of the demigod is sometimes disturbed, but the residents of these planets enjoy life without disturbances. Thus, they are understood to be very attached to illusory happiness. So, the devas, they have to meet with so much competition from those inhabitants of the lower planetary system. The deities, the anavas, they keep on coming on top. So their residence is actually down. They have been ascribed a particular space. They are supposed to be below, but they keep on going up and going and try to usurp other people's land. Just as we see here in India, it happened many times. It's happening now in the whole world when one country goes and tries to usurp and conquer another country. So these deities, Danavas, Nagas, so this is their style. So what's their style? They like to go and conquer those other people who are peaceful. But they themselves, they are left to enjoy life because nobody's, from the heavenly planet, nobody is going to come down and conquer their loka. They're not interested. So this is what's going on in the world. The sense enjoyment of the demigods is sometimes disturbed by the Danavas, as I said. But the Danavas and Daitya, they're just enjoying life. So that's why sometimes people say, this person is so sinful, but he's just so happy and enjoying life. So demons, somehow or other demons, they also they enjoy life without disturbance, but for some time only. So here it says illusory. Apratihata kamaha, whose fulfillment of lust desires unimpeded. But that happiness is coming only from illusory happiness, Maya. Alright, so Prahlad Maharaj is going to speak. According to the statements of Prahlad Maharaj, material enjoyment is Maya Sukh, illusory enjoyment. A Vaishnava is full of anxieties for the deliverance of all living entities from such false enjoyment. Prahlad Maharaj says, Maya Sukhaya Bharam Udvahato Vimudhan. These fools, Vimudhas, are engaged in material happiness, which is surely temporary. Whether in the heavenly planets, the lower planets, or the earthly planets, people are engrossed in temporary material happiness, forgetting that in due course of time, they have to change their bodies according to the material laws and suffer the repetition of birth and death, old age, and disease. Not caring what will happen in the next birth, gross materialists are simply busy enjoying during the present short span of life. A Vaishnava is always anxious to give all such bewildered materialists the real happiness of spiritual bliss. So that's how our spiritual masters, they're compassionate. Like Prahlad Maharaj, they're compassionate and with so much trouble, putting their own life at risk. Like Jesus Christ. I heard it was his disciple who got him crucified, who betrayed him and got him crucified. And this is a recurring history in the lives of preachers, that It's the disciples themselves who turn against the Guru and try to bring him down, try to destroy him. But the Gurus are indestructible. The Gurus, a Vaishnava is always anxious to give such bewildered materialists the real happiness of spiritual bliss. So, materialistic people who sometimes appear as disciples, they cause great, great pain to the spiritual masters. So here, these Danavas, deities, they're gross materialists and they only want to enjoy life. And because they're so stuck in material enjoyment, or they can be so proud, they think they're very advanced in spiritual culture. So what do? They persecute their own spiritual master. So this is the mercy of the preachers, the Vaishnavas. They're bewildered materialists. Text 9. Yeshu Maharaja Mayena Maya Vina Vinirmita Purunana Mani Pravara Praveka Virachita Vichitra Bhavana Prakara Gopura Sabha Chaitya Chatvaraya Tanadhibhir Nagasura Mithun Paravata Sukha Sharika Kirna Kritrima Bhumibhir Vivareshwara Grihotame Samalankritas Chakasati. My dear king, okay, Yeshu, in those lower planetary system, Maharaja, oh my dear king, Mayena, by the demon named Maya, Maya Vina, possessing advanced knowledge in the construction of material comforts. So remember that it is this same Maya Davana who built the house, the assembly house for in Indraprastha. Yeah, it's a very famous assembly house that created, it caused the war of Kurukshetra. So, possessing advanced knowledge in the construction of material comforts. Vinirmitaha constructed Pura cities. So what happened is that materialists, they have only one work, how to make themselves comfortable. Whereas the Devas, they are interested in self-realization, therefore they don't waste their time in building huge houses for sense gratification. They build palaces for the Supreme Lord, but they themselves, they live very simply. Nana mani pravara of valuable gems, praveka, with excellent varachitta constructed, vichitra, wonderful, bhavan, houses, prakara, prakara, walls, gopura, gates, sabha, legislative meeting rooms, chaitya, temples. So they have temples also, these Danavas. Chatvara, schools, ayatana ajibhihi, with hotels or recreation halls and so on. Naga, of living entities with snake-like bodies. Asura, of demons or godless person. Mithuna, by couples. Paravata, pigeons. Shuka, parrots. Sharika, Maina. Akirna, crowded. Kritrima, artificial. Bhumihi, possessing areas. Vivara Ishwara, of the leaders of the planets. Griha Uttamahe, with first-class houses. Samalankritaha, decorated. Chakasati, shine magnificently. My dear king, so this Bilda Swarga is said to be in the imitation heaven. So this Bila Swarga is an imitation heaven. So in the imitation heavens known as Bila Swarga, there is a great demon named Maya Danava, who is an expert artist and architect. He has constructed many brilliantly decorated cities. There are many wonderful houses, walls, gates, assembly houses, temples, yards, and temple courtyards, as well as many hotels serving as residential quarters for foreigners. The houses for the leaders of these planets are constructed with the most valuable jewels, and they are always crowded with living entities known as Naga and Asura, as well as many pigeons, parrots, and similar birds. All in all, these imitation heavenly cities are most beautifully situated and attractively decorated. So we are reading text 9, chapter 24, text 9. So this is a description of Billa Swarga. So just like we see here, right? There are hotels, right? So there are beautiful houses, assembly houses, and they have temples. I was always curious. Duryodhan, every day he goes to the temple and pray. Couldn't really figure out who he was praying to. But Krishna is there. But every day, the Kauravas, very religiously, they prayed. So we believe that people who pray, they must be pious people. Right? We believe that those who pray, I think I always used to think like that. But Duryodhan, every day, without fail, he goes to his. So here we see the deities, the Danavas and the Daitya. So they've got temple also. And what do? They pray. Most probably to Durga, right? And welcoming houses, hotels, right? Serving as residential quarters for foreigners. I don't know who the foreigners are. So the houses for the leaders of these planets are constructed with the most valuable jewels. So that's why here in India, right, the houses were all this palatial, but they were built for Krishna, right? These temples were built with jewels, right? So the deities, the Danavas and the Nagas came, they conquered and they removed all the jewels, right? Like I heard that this Taj Mahal, the stone itself is jewel. Is it? Yeah, I saw a documentary. So the stone itself is jewel. As you walk through, you can see it's jewel. So this is how it is described here. And of course, pigeons, parrots, birds, so they form part of somebody's, a wealthy man's house, right? But these are all imitation heaven. We make believe that we are in heaven. See, they can't get Swargalok, right? So they build their own heaven. Everything artificial. So meaning that they're actually thinking of enjoyment. They want to enjoy. So how will they get enjoyment? So they see that the demigods, the devas, so they're enjoying the result of pious deeds, right? Whereas those who are underneath, who are in Billa Swarga, they have only impious credits, right? But they're very skillful. They have impious credit, but they're very skillful. And that's why you find today in the world, People are very skillful, but they don't want to accept and worship Krishna. So these are the people who are taking birth on earth and conquering and capturing. They are actually the agents of Kali. As we read in Mahabharata. Okay, so the Pandavas, they say this Duryodhan is a personification of Kali Yuga. And maybe I described that how the Danavas, they possessed the Kauravas during the battle of Kurukshetra. And that's why they were so powerful. Because the fight was actually not between the Kauravas and the Pandavas. The fight was actually between the Devas and the Danavas. So the Pandavas, they were Devas who had taken birth to be with Krishna, right? And the Danavas, they took birth and they possessed the Kauravas. And so that's what's going on now. Now, wherever you see wars, you should know that from Billa Swarga, who is so crazy, right? Who is so crazy? Who is so simple, right? Only these Billa Swarga Lok inhabitants, they take birth and they capture and conquer the minds of human beings, and they create all these wars. Text then. Udyanani chatitaram mana indriya mandidhi kushama phala stabaka subhaga kishila yavanata ruchira vitapa vitapinam latanga lingitanam shribhi samithuna vividha vihangama जलाशयानम् अमलजल पूर्णानं झषकुलोल्लङ्घन क्षुभितनिरज कुमुदकुव लयकहलार नीलोत्पललोहितशतपत्रादि वनेषु कृत निकेतनानम् एकविहाराकुल मधुर विविध स्वनाधिभिर् इन्द्रियोत्सवैरम् अमर लोकश्रियम् अतिशयितानि. Okay, so now what's going on there? So I heard one lecture Prabhupada was saying how, the materials, when they conquered India, what did they do? So they made the people live in slums in the cities, right? And then they themselves, they live in the gardens, right? In the countryside and with nice fresh air, right? So this is described here. The Billa Swarga people, what is their houses? The parks and gardens in the artificial heavens surpass in beauty those of the upper heavenly planets. The trees in those gardens, embraced by creepers, bent with a heavy burden of twigs, with fruits and flowers, and therefore they appear extraordinarily beautiful. That beauty could attract anyone and make his mind fully blossom in the pleasure of sense gratification. There are many lakes and reservoirs with clear, transparent water, agitated by jumping fish and deer of chakravak and many other pleasing vibrations that are very satisfying and conducive to enjoyment of the senses. So this is what they built for themselves. We didn't have to put pipes. We don't have to pay for water, right? You go to the river, you drink water. So they have here, the Billa Swarga, they have clear lakes. Clear lakes. Clear, transparent water. I remember one time we were traveling, I mean, we are so used to seeing dirty water, and suddenly we saw one lake with crystal clear water. Crystal clear water, you know. So actually what has happened, the materialists, they have polluted each and every river, including Yamuna and Ganga, right? All the rivers, how? By the industrial wastes, right? And also by the slums. They have, this is Bombay slums. Whichever big house you may live is actually a slum. Piling each other up and making you pay by crore, right? But according to the standard of living of Billa Swarga, this is slum house. Anyway. Text 11. Yatraha vaha na bhayam ahoratradihi kala vibhagir upalakshate. Yatra, where havaha, certainly na bhayam, fearfulness. Aha ratra adibhi, because of days and night. Kala vibhage, the divisions of time. Upalakshate is experienced. Just see what happens now. Since there is no sunshine, all right, remember, the sun doesn't come down to, because it's underneath. It's a tunnel. This Billa Swarga, subterranean, right? It's a tunnel. Since there is no sunshine in those subterranean planets, time is not divided into day and night, because there's neither day nor night. Everything is only night. Consequently, fear produced by time doesn't exist. So how do they get light? Text 12. Yatra hi mahahi pravara shiro manayah sarvam tama prabhadhante. Many great serpents reside there with gems on their hoods, and the effulgence of those gems dissipate the darkness in all directions. So there are Maha-ahi. I think ahi means someone who pulls air, right? Ahi, who pulls air. Maha-ahi, samp, right? They pull air. So the meaning of Maha-ahi. Text 13. Nava eteshu vasatam divya sadhi rasa rasayanana panasnanadibhir adhayo vyadhayo vali palita jaradayascha deha vaivaranya dorra gandhya sweda klama glaniriti vayo vasthascha bhavanti. No, not either eight issue in this plant. Vasatam, of those residing, divya, wonderful, outside of her, rasa, the juices, rasayan, and elixirs, ana, by eating, pan, drinking, snan, adhibi, by bathing, and so on, adhayaha, mental troubles, vyadhayaha, diseases, vali, wrinkles, palita, grey hair, jara, old age, adayaha, and so on, cha, and deha, vaivaranya, the fading of bodily luster, dorgandhya, bad odors, shved, perspiration, klama, fatigue, glani, lack of energy, iti, thus, vaya, avastha, miserable conditions due to increasing age, cha, and bhavanti are. Since the residents of these planets drink and bathe in juices and elixir made from wonderful herbs. You know, like those spas, right? Spas. That's what they do for you, right? Massage and this drink, that drink. So, what happened to them? They are freed from all anxieties and physical diseases. What life, right? Charavak Muni's philosophy. They have no experience of grey hair, wrinkles, or invalidity. Their bodily lusters do not fade. Their perspiration does not cause a bad smell. And they are not troubled by fatigue or lack of energy or enthusiasm due to old age. All right, so this is good. This is heaven, right? Exactly heaven. But what's the problem there then? What's the problem? That's what everybody wants, right? Isn't it? Exactly right. See, artificial light. Huh? Artificial light, we have made, serpentine tube light, right? Don't we do this? Serpentine tube light of different colors. Villa Swarga residents have taken birth on earth and they are creating Villa Swarga on earth, right? Exact description, right? Only problem is that we are suffering from disease, old age. So facelifting and what they call again, plastic surgery, right? So that's exactly what it is. Text 14. Nahi tesham kalyananam prabhavat from anything but death established time, which is the effulgence of the Sudarshan chakra of the Supreme Person Godhead. So, Sudarshan chakra, this is a time. This Sudarshan chakra is actually the time factor. Well situated residential quarters, there is a pleasing atmosphere, and there are no bodily inconveniences or mental anxieties, but nevertheless, those who live there have to take another birth according to karma. Person whose minds are dull cannot understand this defect of a materialistic civilization aiming at material comfort and other people to die, right? But these people, they say, they will still die their natural death. What is that natural death? Sudarshan chakra of Krishna. Their karma, when their karma accumulates to such a degree, they die their natural death. Bell is ringing, correct. Right? They die their natural death. Right? Like we say, those who destroy the temples, they die natural death. Right? What is the natural death? The Sudarshan chakra of the Supreme Lord. No natural death. It is the Sudarshan chakra. One may make his living condition very pleasing for the senses, but despite all favorable conditions, one must in due course of time meet death. Just see what Prabhupada is saying. Meet death, meaning death is always coming, right? You just go with time, you go and meet death, right? The members of a demoniac civilization endeavor to make their living condition very comfortable, but they cannot check death. The influence of the Sudarshan chakra will not allow their so-called material happiness to endure. Text 15. Yasmin pravishte sura vadhunam praya pumsavanani bhayat eva shravanti patanti cha. Yasmin, where pravishte, when entered. Asura badhunam, of the wives of the demons. Prayaha, almost always. Pumsa vanani, fetuses. Bhaya, because of fear, eva, certainly. Shravanti, slip out. Oh, no, sravanti. Slip out. Patanti, fall down. Cha. When the Sudarshan disc enters those provinces, the pregnant women, wives of the demons, all have miscarriages due to fear of its effulgence. I never understood this thing about pregnant wives, having miscarriages. I never understood, like, what is this? But it's like symbolic. It's something I haven't understood what it is, but it is symbolic. Text 16. Atha tale mayaputro suro bolonivasati yena havaiha shrishta sannavati maya kaschana dhyapi maya vinu dharayanti tyasya cha shrim bhamanasya mukhatasthayasti gana Udapadyanta Shverinya Kaminya Pumshachalya iti yavai Bilayanam Pravishtam Purusham Rasena Hatakakyena Sadhayitva Swavilasavalukananuragasmita Samlapauga Guhanadibhi Shveram Kila Ramayanti Yasmin Upayukte Purusha Ishwaroham Siddhoham Iti Achyuta Mahagaja Balam Atmanam Abhimanyamanaha Kathate Maddandha Iva Athana Atale. On the planet named Atala, Mayaputra Asura, the demon son of Maya, Bala, Nivasati resides, Yena by whom, Hava indeed, Iha in this, Shrishtaha propagated, Satnavatihi 96, Maya varieties of illusion, Kaschana, some Adya api eventually, Maya Vinaha, those who know the art of magical feats like manufacturing gold. Dharayanti, oh, like Prabhupada speaking manufacturing gold, right? Like some yogis that they manufacture gold, so magic, Prabhupada's magic. So this is from Billa Swarga. So these people, they come from Billa Swarga. Now you understand all these false yogi, bogi, yogi, right? Incarnation, they are actually from Billa Swarga. My God, this Bhagavatam is discovering everybody right now. All secrets are revealed. All population secret from where, who comes from where, right? Dharayanti, utilize yasya of whom cha also. Jim Brahmanasya, while yawning. Mukhata from the mouth, Traya 3. Stri Ganaha, varieties of women. Uddapadyanta were generated. Shverenya, Shverini, one who only marries in her same class. Kamini, one who being lusty marries men from any group. Pumschalya, Pumschali, one who wants to go from one husband to another. Iti, thus, Yaha, who, very certainly, Billa Ayanam, the subterranean planets, Pravishtam, entering, Purusham, a male, Rasena, by a juice, Hataka Akhyena, made from an intoxicating herb known as Hatak. What's that? Hataka. Sadhayitva. Hashish, right? On earth, right? Opium, hashish, right? See, all from Billa Swarga. Oh my God. And our children are getting, our children are getting all this. Sadhayitva, being sexually fit. Swavilas, for their personal sense gratification. Avalokana, by glances. Anuraga, lustful. Smita, by smiling. Samlapa, by talking. Upaguhana adhivihi, by embracing. Shveram, according to their own desire. Killa, indeed. Ramayanti, enjoys sex pleasure. Yasmin, which. Upayukte, man use. Purushaha, a man. Ishvara aham, I am the most powerful person. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, the Asura aham, Ishwaroham aham bhogi, right? Siddha aham, I am the greatest and most elevated person. Iti, thus. Ayuta, 10,000. Mahagaja, the big elephant, of big elephants. Balam, strength. Atmanam, himself. Abhimanyamanaha, being full of pride. Kathate, they say, Mada Andha, blinded by false prestige, evil, like. My dear king, okay, just read. I'm tired now.
Hare Krishna. Translation. My dear king, now I shall describe to you the lower planetary systems one by one, beginning from Attala. In Attala, there is a demon, the son of Maya Danava, named Bala, Bala, who created 96 kinds of mystic power. Some so called yogis and swamis take advantage of this mystic power to cheat people even today. Simply by yawning, the demon Baals created three kinds of women, known as Swarani, Kamini, and Pumschali. The Swaranis like to marry men from their own group. The Kaminis marry men from any group, and the Pumschalis change husbands one after another. If a man enters the planet of Attala, these women immediately capture him and induce him to drink an intoxicating beverage made with a drug known as Hataka, cannabis indica. This intoxicant endows the man with great sexual prowess, of which the women take advantage for enjoyment. A woman will enchant him with attractive glances, intimate words, smiles of love, and then embraces. In this way, he induces him to enjoy sex with her to her full satisfaction. Because of his increased sexual power, man thinks himself stronger than 10,000 elephants and considers himself most perfect. Indeed, illusioned and intoxicated by false pride, he thinks himself God, ignoring impending death.
So everywhere, so everything is perfect in the lives of the asuras. Only one problem: they have to die. They have to die, right? Meaning your enjoyment is finished. The next term of karma. That's the only problem. Otherwise, everything perfect. Hmm? Text 17. ततो धस्ताद्वितले हरो भगवान् हातकेश्वर स्वपर पार्षदभूत गणावृत्त प्रजापति सर्गोपबृंहणाय भवो भावन्यासः मिथुनीभूतस्ते यतः प्रभृता सरित्प्रवार हातकी नाम भवयोर्वीर्येण यत्र चित्रभानुर्माता ऋष्वना समीध्यामान ओजसा पिबती तान् निष्ठ्या नो निष्ठ्यूतं हातकाख्यं सुवर्णं भूषणेन सुरेन्द्रावरोधेषु पुरुषः सह पुरुषिभिर्धारयन्ति तथा the planet Attala, Adhastad beneath Vittala, Vittala on the planet Hara, Lord Shiva, Bhagavan, the most powerful personality. Hata Keshvara, the master of gold. Swaparasada, of his own associates. Bhutagana, who are ghostly living beings. Avrittaha, surrounded. Prajapati Sarga, of the creation of Lord Brahma. Upabrimhanaya, to increase the population. Bhavaha, Lord Shiva. Bhavaniya Saha, with his wife. Bhavani, Mithuni Bhutaha, being united in sex. Aste remains, Yataha, from that planet Vittala. Pravritta, being emanated. Sarit Pravar, the great river. Hataki, Nama name. Bhavayoho, Viryena, due to the stamina and ovum of Lord Shiva and Bhavani. Yatra, where Chitra Bhanuhu, the fire god. Mata Rishvana, by the wind. Samidhyamanaha, being brightly inflamed. Ojasa, with great strength. Pibati, drinks that Nishtyutam, spit out with a hissing sound. Hataka Akyam, name Hataka. Suvarnam, gold. Bhushanena, by different types of ornaments. Asura Indra of the great Asura, the king of the Asuras, Asura Indra of the great Asura, Avarodheshu, in the whom Purusha, the males, Saha with Purushibhi, their wives and women, Dharayanti, where? Well, lucky they get married also. I thought they don't get married, these people. So they are householders. All right? So you can see they can be householders, but it's totally materialistic.
Hare Krishna Mataji. The next planet, Hare Krishna. The next planet below Atala is Vitala, wherein Lord Shiva, who is known as the master of gold mines, lives with his personal associates, the ghost, and similar living entities. Lord Shiva is the progenitor, janitor, in, janitor, progenitor, engage in sex with Bhavani, the progenitress, to produce living entities. And from the mixture of the Vitala fluid, the river named Hataki is generated, wherein fire being made to blaze by the wind drinks of this river and then sizzles and spits in out. It produces gold called Hataka. The demons who live on the planet with their wives decorate themselves with various ornaments made from the gold, and thus they lived there very happily. Purport. In appearance, it appears that when Baba and Bhavani, Lord Shiva and his wife, unite sexually, the emulsification of the secretion of creates a chemical which, when heated by fire, can produce gold. It is said that the alchemist of the medieval age tries to prepare gold from this base metal, and Srila Sanatani Goswami also states that when the bell metals is treated with the mercury, it can produce gold. Srila Sanatana Goswami mentions this is in regard to the initiation of the low class men to turn them into brahmanas. Sanatana Goswami said, Yatha kanchanata yati kamsyam rasa vidhantaha tatha diksha vidhanina dvajata Dvajatam Jayate Narmam. As one can transfer kamsha or bell metal into gold by treating it with mercury, one can turn a low-born man into a Brahman by initiating him properly into Vaishnava activities. The International Society of Krishna Consciousness is trying to turn milchas and yavana into Yavanas into a real Brahmins by properly initiating them and stopping them from engaging in meat eating, intoxicating, illicit sex, and gambling. One who stops these four principles of sinful activities and chant the Hare Krishna mantra certainly become a pure Brahman through the process of bona fide initiation. Suggested by Srila Sanatana Goswami. Apart from this, if one takes a hint from the verse and learn how to mix mercury with bell metal by properly heating and melting them, one can get gold very cheaply. The alchemist of the medieval age tried to manufacture gold, but they were unsuccessful, perhaps because they do not follow the right instructions.
So in Vitala, so below, it's the first subterranean planet. Loka is Atala, so below Atala is Vitala. So in Vitala, so there's gold. Huh? Gold is produced there. Text 18. So we can see how this creation, everything is there, right? If you want to enjoy without Krishna, that facility is given, right? We want to enjoy without Krishna, full facility, so we can go to Billa Swarga and enjoy there. Text 18. Tato dhastad sutane udarashravah punyashloko virochanatmajo balir bhagavata mahendrasya priyam चिकिर्समानेनादितेर् लब्धा कायो भूत्वा वतु वामना रूपेण पराक्षिप्त लोकत्रयो भगवत् अनुकम्पयैव पुनः प्रवेशित इन्द्रदेश्वाधीम no, oh God, Indradishvadvid Yamanaya Susamridhaya Shriya Bhijushta Swa Dharmena Radhayam Stameva Bhagavantam Aradhaniyam Apagata Sadvasa Aste Dhunapi. So, we are reading all these shlokas, these verses, We are reading them from the Bhagavatam, right? Now, some people, they can use the Vedic literature, they recite mantras to put you down, right? Like they do black magic, like they pull you down. So we are reading all these shlokas from this. This is pure. This is Amala Puran, right? So when we are reading those Puranas, we are not becoming degraded, right? Whereas some people, if they read this, they'll be attracted. I want to go to Billa Swarga, right? Right? Very attractive. Yeah. And you already saw how some women, they know how to get the men intoxicated and then enjoy sense gratification, right? Tata adhasta, beneath the planet known as Vitala Sutali. On the planet known as Sutala Uddara Shrava, very greatly celebrated. Punya Shloka, very pious and advanced in spiritual consciousness. Virochana Atmajaha, the son of Virochana. Bali Maharaj. So lucky Bali Maharaj had a change of heart. Bhagavata, by the Supreme Person Godhead. Maha Indrasya, of the King of Heaven, Indra. Priyam, the welfare. Chikirshamanena, desiring to perform. Aditehe, from Aditi. Labdva Kayaha, having obtained his body. Bhutva, appearing with Vatu Brahmachari, Vamana Rupena, in the form of a dwarf. Parakshipta, rested away, Lokatraya, in the three worlds. Bhagavat Anukampaya, by the causeless mercy of the Supreme Person Godhead, Eva said, Puna again. Praveshitaha, caused to enter. Indra Adishu, even among the demigods, like the King of Heaven. Avidyamanaya, not existing. Avidyamanaya, no. Avidyamanaya, not existing. Susambridhaya, much enriched by such exalted opulence. Shriya, by good fortune. Abhijushtaha, being blessed. Swadharmena, by discharging devotional service. Aradhayan, worshipping tam, him, eva, certainly. Bhagvantam, the Supreme Person Godhead. Aradhanyam, who is most worshipable. Apagata, sadvasa, without fear, aste remains. Adhuna, of even today. Okay, read.
Hare Krishna translation. Below the planet Vitala is another planet known as Sutala, where the great son of Maharaj Virochana, Bali Maharaj, who is celebrated as the most pious king, resides even now. For the welfare of Indra, the king of heaven, Lord Vishnu appeared in the form of dwarf Brahmachari as a son of Aditi and tricked Bali Maharaj by begging for only 3 paces of land but taking all the 3 worlds. Being very pleased with Bali Maharaj for giving all his possession, the Lord returned his kingdom and made him richer than the opulent king Indra. Even now, Bali Maharaj engages in devotional service by worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the planet of Sutala. Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is described as Uttama Shloka, he who is worshipped by the best of selected Sanskrit verses, and his devotees such as Bali Maharaj are also worshipped by Punya Shloka, verses that increase one's piety. Bali Maharaj offered everything to the Lord, his wealth, his kingdom, and even his own body. Sarvatma Nivedhane Bali. The Lord appeared before Bali Maharaj as a Brahmana beggar, and Bali Maharaj gave him everything he had. However, Bali Maharaj did not become poor by donating all his possessions to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He became a successful devotee and got everything back again with the blessing of Lord. Similarly, those who give contributions to expand the activities of Krishna conscious movement and to accomplish its objectives will never be losers. They will get their wealth back with the blessing of Lord Krishna. On the other side, those who collect contribution on behalf of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness should be very careful not to use even a farthing of the collection for any purpose other than
Those, the donors, right? Those who are giving, they are multiplying their wealth. All right? So, like Bali Maharaj, when he gave everything, including himself, he multiplies, right? Those who give their lives and who are attacked, right? And who are attacked by irresponsible people, right? How much they're losing? You attack a preacher, right? We were discussing earlier. One of the purports came of Lord Jesus Christ, and well, we were speaking about preachers. So, they will get their wealth back with the blessings of Lord. And here Prabhupada is saying, the devotees who are collecting, right? People are donating, they are collecting. If these collectors on behalf of ISKCON, right? If they collect and they put in their pocket, what happens? They should be very careful not to use even a farthing of the collection for any purpose other than the transcendental loving service of the Lord. They fall down. Those who collect, because that money is being given for the service of the Lord. And if they take, they use for themselves, they fall down. Sometimes we wonder, unfortunately, I have to say this. We find people become poor, and whatever they do, they can't raise because of this. That's the reason, right? They take irresponsibly. Meaning what is meant to be used in the service of the Lord, right? They're using for themselves, especially if they steal money, they become poor. Text 19. No evetat shakshat karo bhumi danasya yattad bhagavatya shesha jiva ni kayanam jiva bhutatma bhute paramatmani vasudeve tirthatame patra upapane paraya shraddhaya paramadara samahita manasa sampratipaditasya sakshat apavarga dwarasya yad bila nilayeshwaryam. Sakshat karaha, The direct result, Bhumi Danasya, contribution of land. Ashesha Jiva Nikayanam, of unlimited numbers of living. Jiva Bhuta Atma Bhute, who is the life and the super soul. Parama Atmani, supreme regulator, Parama Atmani. Tirthatame, who is the best Vasudeva, the best of all places of pilgrimage. Patre, the most worthy recipient. Upapane, having a paraya, tap, shadhaya, faith. Parama Adhara, great respect. Samahitas, manasa, with an attentive mind. Sampratipadhitasya, which was given. Saksha, direct. Upavarga, dvarasya, the gate of liberation, yet which Bila Nilaya, or Bila Swarga, the imitation heavenly planets, Aishwaryam, the opposite. See, what happened actually is that Bali Maharaj, because he belongs to the Asura family, right? So their family lives in Bila Swarga. But he went up and he conquered the planet of Indra, Swargolok. He left his own planet. I just described, no? They go out to conquer other people's land. So he went to conquer, so he had to be pushed down, right? So when he surrendered to Vamandev, he was pushed down to Sutalalok. So he had to enter, because Bila Swarga is subterranean. So he had to enter the earth, right? So he entered the earth. But because he has surrendered to Vamandev, Vamandev came along with him. So therefore, his loka became Vaikuntha. Because wherever Vasudev lived, this is Vaikuntha. My dear King Bali Maharaj donated all his possessions to the Supreme Person Godhead Vamadev, but one should certainly not conclude that he achieved his great worldly opulence in Billa Swarga as a result of his charitable disposition. The Supreme Person Godhead, who is the source of life for all living entities, lives within every one of the friendly super soul, and under his direction a living entity enjoy or suffers the material world. Greatly appreciating the transcendental qualities of the Lord, Bali Maharaj offered everything at his lotus feet. His purpose, however, was not to gain anything material, but to become a pure devotee. For a pure devotee, the door of liberation is automatically open. One should not think that Bali Maharaj was given so much material opulence merely because of his charity. When one becomes a pure devotee in love, he may also be blessed with a good material position by the will of the Supreme Lord. However, one should not mistakenly think that the material opulence of a devotee is the result of his devotional service. The real result of devotional service, the awakening of pure love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which continues under all circumstances. So this is not a bargaining. We are not practicing devotional service. We giving charity so that I will get wealth in return. No. Prabhupada is saying that the devotees also, they get a good position. So we shouldn't mix this up. It's a weed in our devotional practices, an anartha in our devotional practices. So when we don't practice devotional properly, then it may act as karma and give us opulence, right? So for ordinary karmis, we collect donation from them and they get punya. But devotees, they get love for Krishna, and beside love for Krishna, they get a good position in life. It's not that every devotee have to live in a jhompri like Sudama Vipra, right? Krishna took away his jhompri and gave him a palace. Right? Very... Okay, let's read this because Prabhupada, Shukdev Goswami is explaining more about this. Yasya bhava kshuta patana prashkhallanadishu vivasha sakrin nama bhigrinan purusha karma bandhanam anjasa vidhunoti yasya haiva pratibadhanam mumukshavo nyathaiva palabhante. Okay, read.
Yes, Mudra. Translation: Hare Krishna. If one who is embraced by hunger or who falls down or stumbles chants the holy name of the Lord even once, willingly or unwillingly, he is immediately free from the reaction of his past deeds. Karmis entangled in material activities face many difficulties in the practice of mystic yoga and other endeavors to achieve the same freedom. Purport: it is not fact that one has to offer his material possession to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and be liberated before he can engage in the devotional service. A devotee automatically attains liberation without separate endeavors. Bali Maharaj did not get back all his material possession merely because of his charity to the Lord. One who becomes a devotee free from material desires and motives regards all opportunities, both material and spiritual, as benediction from the Lord, and this way his service to the Lord is never hampered. Bhukti, Bhukti, material enjoyment, and Mukti, liberation, are the only products of the devotional service. Byproducts, sorry. Bhukti, material enjoyment, and the Mukti liberations are only byproducts by the devotional service. A devotee need not work separately to attain Mukti. Srila Bilva Mangala Thakura said, Mukti Swayam Muklitanja Chaliha Sevete Samana. A pure devotee of the Lord does not have to endeavor separately for mukti, because mukti is always ready to serve him.
This section is extremely important because now in the purport, Shukdev Goswami started that. It's not that, you give in charity and as a result of charity, therefore you become opulent. This is like karmis. Devotees, when they get opulence, all right? When they get opulent, this is a permanent, it doesn't go away. The opulence of karmis come and go. But when the Supreme Lord gives opulence, you never lose it. Right? Lakshmi Narayan, right? You never, nobody can take it away from you. It's impossible. This is a fixed, super fixed asset. All right? So here Prabhupada is saying that devotees, they should not. Bali Maharaj didn't get back all his material possession merely because of his charity to the Lord. One who becomes a devotee free from material desires and motives regards all opportunities, both material and spiritual, as benediction from the Lord. And in this way, his service to the Lord is never hampered. Bhukti, material enjoyment, or mukti are only byproducts of devotional service, meaning that you are here to serve Krishna. You don't know how suddenly you are getting everything. I always say that devotees are like children. Children, they are carefree. No worry, right? Carefree. They only know anytime they need something, Mama, Papa is giving, right? This is devotee. Anything you desire, you just get somebody's coming giving, right? Right? This is freedom of devotee. So byproducts. Bhukti, then mukti. Prabhupada is saying that you don't have to endeavor for mukti because you're already liberated. Those who are working for Krishna, they're already liberated. So, Bilva Manga Thakur says, Mukti Swayam. Mukti Swayam, right? What is she doing? Mukutlitanjali, standing with folded hands. Sebate, smile, guaranteed that we are liberated from the cycle of birth and death. This is if we are practicing pure bhakti like Bali Maharaj. Right? Now, I'll just continue this because this is a little difficult. In this regard, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Antya 3.1177 to 188, describe Haridas Thakur's confirmation of the effect of chanting the holy name of the Lord. Keha bale nama haite haya papakshaya. Keha bale nama haite jivera mukshahai. Some say that by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one is freed from all the reactions of sinful life. And others say that by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one attains liberation from material bondage. Haridasa kahe nam na mera e dui phala nai. Na mera phale Krishna parem prema upajai. Haridas Thakur, however, said that the desired result of chanting the holy name of the Lord is not that one is liberated from material bondage or freed from the reactions of sinful life. The actual result of chanting the holy name of the Lord is that one awakens his dormant Krishna consciousness, his loving service to the Lord. Anusangika phalana mera mukti papanash tahara drishtanta eva suryera prakash. Haridas Thakur said that liberation and freedom from the reactions of sinful activities are only byproducts of chanting of the holy name of the Lord. If one chants the holy name of the Lord purely, meaning without offenses, he attains the platform of loving service to the Supreme Person Godhead. In this regard, Haridas Thakur gave an example comparing the power of the holy name to sunshine. E shlokera artha kare panditera gana, sabe kahe tumi kaha artha vivarana. Place a verse before all the learned scholars present. But the learned scholars ask him to state the purport of the verse. Haridas kahena yeche suryera uday, uday na haite arambhite tumare haikshaya. Haridas Thakur said that as the sun begins to rise, it dissipates the darkness of night, even before the sunshine is visible, like dawn, right? Chaura preta raksha dira bhaya hai nash. Udaya haila dharma karma adi prakash. Before the sunrise even takes place, the light of dawn destroy the fear of the dangers of the night, such as disturbances by thieves, ghosts, and rakshasas. And when the sunshine actually appears, one engages in his duties. This is an example. Aiche nama doya rambhe papa adhirikshaya. Udara kaile Krishna pare haila premodai. Similarly, even before one's chanting of the holy name is pure, hopefully we are on that stage at least, one is freed from all sinful reactions. And when he chants purely, he becomes a lover of Krishna. Mukti tuchcha phalahaye nama bhasa haite. Ye mukti bhakta na lahe se Krishna chahe dite. A devotee never accepts mukti even if Krishna offers it. Mukti, freedom from all sinful reaction, is obtained even by namabhas. So meaning that even though we are not chanting the holy name perfectly, all right, namabhas means not with the aparad. We must avoid the aparad. Not that I'm chanting and then I'm blaspheming devotees, I'm criticizing sadhus, I'm disobeying guru, I'm doing demigod worship also. At the same time, I'm chanting Hare Krishna, right? I'm blaspheming the Vedic literature. I don't read the scriptures, right? I think this holy name is just exaggeration, imagination. Oh, I think it's just, any karma kandiya, right? I don't have faith in the holy name. Oh, I maintain my material attachments. These are aparad, right? Heard so much of the holy name, still we are holding on. These are called nam aparad, and therefore no, not even abhas, nam abhas, right? So if we've gone beyond the stage of Namaprad, we're in the stage of Namabhas, meaning we don't have sufficient taste to chant the holy name. So we are still in the stage of Nam. Okay, Mukti, freedom from all sinful reaction, is obtained even by Namabhas, or a glimpse of the light of the holy name before its full light is perfectly visible. Namabhas stage is between that of Namaprad, or chanting of the holy name with offenses, and pure chanting. There are 3 stages in chanting the holy name of the Lord. In the first stage, one commits 10 kinds of offenses while chanting. In the next stage, Namabhas, the offenses have almost stopped, and one is coming to the platform of pure chanting. In the third stage, when one chants the Hare Krishna mantra without offenses, his dormant love for Krishna immediately awakens. This is the perfection. All right? Meaning you actually feel love. You want to know Krishna. You want to do everything for Krishna. Just like today, I met one lady. By chance, I hardly go down. Anyway, somehow I went to our stall there. So this lady, so she came to greet me immediately. You know how humble they are. She came to meet me immediately, and by good luck, I happened to remember her. So I just said, Sunita, I just said this name, then I said her second name. She was so touched that I remembered her name, both. Then I said, well, I don't know. My good luck. It's not that there is a computer, in my brain and I remember everybody's name, right? By good luck, I remembered her name. So this lady told me she had joined a cooking class and she couldn't complete. She has also joined a sewing or flowers, something. She joined and she had all our classes. Just see how much she was touched. Only by this small session, 6 session. So she started practicing. But then in the home, they started to have some problem. So she started going here and there, and this lady became so emotional. And she looks like a very simple lady. Not like a super great bhakta, but somehow by attending our classes, the practical, just doing that practical cooking classes, sitting in the classes, with the sewing flower and hearing about Krishna, the beauty of Krishna, the power of prasadam, that lady, she became convinced. When she saw us, she became emotional. This is called dawning of prema. She was like hankering. She wants to get back. She said, family problem, mostly they don't allow her to do this, offer and all this, right? Just seeing us, So it's amazing, I don't know whether she even chants, but she got the idea, the seed, all right? She got that seed of bhakti, This is how valuable, for me to run these small classes. Sometimes I get irritated, not enough registration, not enough this. Here, Radha Rasvi just sent me one lady to show me the outcome of this small endeavor that we are doing. How it's touching. This is a bhas of prema. She showed it. Text 21. Tad bhaktanam atmavatam sarvesham atmanyatmada atmatyayeva. The Supreme Person Godhead, who is situated in everyone's heart, or the Super Soul, sells himself to his devotees such as Narada Muni. In other words, the Lord gives pure love to such devotees and gives himself to those who love him purely. The Lord gives pure love to such devotees. All right? He gives pure love, meaning he awakens that love in the hearts of the devotee. and gives himself to those who love him purely. Great self-realized mystic yogis, such as the four Kumaras, also derive great transcendental bliss from realizing the super soul within themselves. The Lord became Bali Maharaja's doorkeeper, not because of his giving everything to the Lord, but because of his exalted position as a lover of the Lord. 22. Nave Bhagavanunam amushanu jagrahat taruta punar atmanu smriti moshanam maya maya bhogaishwarya eva tanu teti. The Supreme Personal Godhead didn't award his mercy to Bali Maharaj by giving him material happiness and opulence. For these make one forget loving service to the Lord. The result of material opulence is that one can no longer absorb his money, the Supreme Person Godhead. Okay? I was speaking about that before. There are two kinds of opulence. One which results from one's karma is material, whereas the other is spiritual. A surrendered soul who fully depends upon the Supreme Person Godhead does not want material opulence for sense gratification. Therefore, when a pure devotee is seen to possess exalted material opulence, it is not due to his karma. Alright? When a devotee has opulence, it is not due to his karma. Rather, it is due to his bhakti. In other words, he is in that position because the Supreme Lord wants him to execute service to him very easily and opulently. Not that you are struggling, where to sleep, where to eat. Everything is coming easily, right? The special mercy of the Lord for the neophyte devotee is that he becomes materially poor. All right? This is the Lord's mercy because if the neophyte devotee becomes materially opulent, he forgets the service of the Lord. However, if an advanced devotee is favored by the Lord with opulence, it is not material opulence but a spiritual opportunity. Material opulence offered to the demigods causes forgetfulness of the Lord, but opulence was given to Bali Maharaj for continuing service to the Lord, which was free from any touch of Maya. So the devotee is made comfortable so that it's easy for him to practice devotional service. Not just practicing devotional service, not a question of practice there. It is to love Krishna, love and serve Krishna. Sadhana and sadhya, right? Advanced devotee is sadhya. And neophyte devotee, he is still in sadhana. So a practicing devotee, if he's neophyte, and if he gets material opulence, he may run after material, increase and just forget about his bhakti, right? So Krishna takes away. So that opulence which is coming from karma, Krishna may take away. But when Krishna himself gives, right? That opulence is never taken away, however much anyone may try to take away. Nobody can take away. So this is, let me just see whether this section is over. Oh my gosh, should we continue this? It's going on. Huh? Okay, there are a few more. Let's read and complete this section about Bali Maharaj. Okay. Text 23. Very, very instructive, right? Yattad bhagavattanadhikatanyopa yena yachna chalena paritaswa sharira vassheshita lokatrayo varuna pashescha samprati mukto giridaryam chapa vidha iti hovacha. Anadhigatas anya apayena, who is not perceived by other means. Yachna chalena, by a trick of begging, aparharita, taken away, swasharir avasheshita, with only his own body remaining. When the Supreme Person Godhead could see no other means of taking everything away from Bali Maharaj, just see. So such a favor, right? Krishna could just send, one bankruptcy, right? He didn't do that. He himself came as a beggar. Why? Why? He adopted the trick of begging from him and took away all the three worlds. So Bali, anyway, we're going to read this in 8th canto. Bali Maharaj saw that little boy Vamani. He was so charming. Bali Maharaj was very sweet, very cute and charming. Bali Maharaj couldn't stop. He just wanted to look at that boy. And he wanted to give him everything. Thus only he adopted the trick of begging from him, took away all the three worlds. Thus only his body was left, but the Lord was still not satisfied. He arrested Bali Maharaj, bound him with the ropes of Varun, and threw him in a cave in a mountain. Nevertheless, although all his property was taken and he was thrown into a cave, Bali Maharaj was such a great devotee that he spoke as follows. Let's see what he said now. Text 24. Nunam batayam bhagavan artheshu na nishnato yo savindro yasya sachivo mantraya vrita akantato brihaspatistam atihaya swayam upendrenatmanam ayachatatmanascha no eva taddasyamati gambhira vayasah kalasya manvantara parivritam kiyallokadhrayam idam. Alas, how pitiable it is for Indra, the king of heaven, that although he is very learned and powerful, and although he chose Brihaspati as his prime minister to instruct him, he is completely ignorant concerning spiritual advancement. Brihaspati is also unintelligent because he didn't properly instruct his disciple Indra. Now Bali Maharaj is criticizing. Lord Vamanadev was standing at Indra's door, but King Indra, instead of begging him for an opportunity to render transcendental loving service, engaged him in asking me for alms to gain the three worlds for his sense gratification. That's what people do, right? That's what they do. They come in front of Rararas Bihari. Instead of falling in love with him, what do they do? Beg, right? So what they beg, so they say, okay, make him give me this, make him give me this, right? Sovereignty over the three worlds is very insignificant, because whatever material opulence one may possess lasts only for an age of Manu, which is but a tiny fraction of endless time. Purport. Bali Maharaj was so powerful that he fought with Indra and took possession of the three worlds. Indra was certainly very advanced in his knowledge, but instead of asking Vamandev for engagement in his service, he used the Lord to beg for material possession that will be finished at the end of one age of Manu. So, Bali Maharaj was physically more powerful than Indra, right? Just see, physical strength, strategy, right? How do you win a war? By strategy. Beside physical strength, right? Strategy, intelligence, right? How to capture. So he outplayed Indra. An age of Manu which is the duration of Manu's life, is calculated to last 72 yugas. One yuga consists of 4,300,000 years. And therefore, the duration of Manu's life is 309,600,000 years. I should read this in trillion actually. The demigods or billion. The demigods possess their material opulence only until the end of the life of Manu. Time is insurmountable. The time one is allotted, even if it is millions of years, is quickly gone. The demigods own their material possessions only within the limits of time. Therefore, Bali Maharaj lamented that although Indra was very learned, he didn't know how to use his intelligence properly. For instead of asking Vamandev to allow him to engage in his service, Indra used him to beg Bali Maharaj for material wealth. Although Indra was learned and his prime minister Brihaspati was also learned, neither of them begged to be able to render loving service to Lord Vamandev. Therefore, Bali Maharaj lamented for Indra. I think we should stop here. Yeah, we should stop here. We'll continue. All right. Hare Krishna.